Hi, I'm Stephanie Stewart, Vice President for Communications and External Affairs for Parkland College. I'm your new host of the Parkland Report, and I hope you'll join me this season as we talk to some of the familiar faces around the college about what's new and what you need to know here at Parkland College. Hi, I'm Stephanie Stewart, Vice President for Communications and External Affairs, and welcome to the Parkland Report. Today I am joined by Heather Lehman, who is from the Parkland Theatre. Yes. Welcome to the show.
Hi, thank you for having me.
So tell us a little bit about your role with the theater.
So I'm the production assistant, and what that means is I do a lot of the organization and handling of kind of the behind the scenes work. And so that means like I'm collecting bios, I'm doing a lot of Facebook posting, I'm going to a lot of rehearsals and just kind of making sure everybody has what they need.
That's great. Sounds like a very important job with the theater.
It's fun.
Keep the loose ends together, keep things going.
Yeah.
Very exciting. So what is the latest show that you guys just closed?
Okay.
And tell us a little bit about the success of that show, because it was very popular.
Yes, so Servant of Two Masters, which was directed by Mike O'Brien, had a great group of local actors. Some of them were students, some of them were community members. We even had some that were students from other schools here. And it was very successful. We actually sold out our entire last 3 shows
that's
for closing
incredible.
weekend. Yeah, it was great.
Yeah, congratulations.
Thank you.
So what's next on the docket? What are the shows that the college has coming up for the remainder of the year?
So next is going to be musical comedy Murders of 1940. That is a great murder mystery type show, and that's going to be on the Harold and Jean Minor stage, and that's November 8th. Directed by Matthew Green. And then after that we have our student production, which is it's called Come Blow Your Horn by Neil Simon. That's directed by Melissa Goldman. And then in the spring, in April, we'll have it's called the new Mel Brooks musical Young Frankenstein, and that's going to be directed by Chelsea Collier-Zich.
Wow, that's an exciting schedule for the year.
It's going to be great.
So plan your social schedule. Get a date night arranged or whatever you need to do.
Lots of opportunity.
Come out to the theater. So tell me a little bit about production and preparation for each of these shows. So what is happening in the theater from a day-to-day perspective to prepare for the big opening night and for all that putting on such high-quality productions entails? Sure.
So during the day, our scene shop is going. Like right now, they're building for musical comedy Murders. Got a wall up today. It's looking great. And we also have the costume shop going. Sherry Doyle, who runs our costume shop, she's working on getting costumes pulled, doing fittings, bringing in the actors, making sure that what we have is going to fit them. If not, doing alterations. We've also got Cindy Reynolds for the ticket booth, doing reservations. So there's a lot of day-to-day stuff that goes on behind the scenes.
No, that's really exciting, and it connects to some of our programs. That behind-the-scenes work connects to some of our programs, doesn't it? What are some of the programs that might lend themselves to those wanting to work in the theater?
Well, our students have, I think there's several different degrees that you can get as a theater student here at Parkland. You can do the performance track, you can do the entertainment technology track, you can also do the technical theater track. And the entertainment technology track actually you can get both a degree or you can get a certification, which is just kind of a more condensed down version of the degree. And it's a 1-year program versus the 2-year.
So you can add that on or just do that as a standalone.
Yeah, and so all of those students are actively involved in the scene shop work and the costume shop work, that sort of thing.
So the technology part of it, that's like woodworking and lots of different types of skills.
Yeah,
talk to me a little bit more about that.
So you take there's a welding class that you have to take. We have a CNC router over in the scene shop where you, with the software, you kind of input what you want it to cut out and then it cuts it out for you. It's really neat. And yeah, just learning how to read a plot so that you can make your set, you can hang lights. We also do sound designing, all sorts of different things.
Wow. So some different career opportunities for students that maybe don't want to be on stage, but they can be behind the scenes and make it all happen.
Yep.
So the theater has also recently had some renovation work, and there's some more on the horizon. So what's happening to keep the theater fresh?
Well, we're entering our final stages of the renovation process, which is where we took out the ramps. And so those ramps have now been replaced with stairs, and there are handrails going down the stairs. So that makes it a little easier for our patrons to use. And then after that, we will enter into the sound rebuild, which is what they're going to go in, and they're going to take all of the sound equipment out, everything that was in there when the minor was originally built, and we're just going to update it into the digital age.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, that's exciting, especially you'll be able to hear
yes,
a little better.
A lot of the old problems that I know people are aware of are going to be completely fixed, and we'll hopefully have that up and running definitely by our musical in the spring.
Yeah, that's great. I know that the kind of frequent flyers will notice that as they come back to the theater and they're visiting frequently. So those that are routine patrons of the Parkland Theater, I know there's such a following that the theater has and the pull that it has in the community. So how does someone get a little bit more involved if they want to support what the college is doing in terms of theater? How do they become a donor? What are the ways they can get involved?
Sure. Well, we do have a couple of ways. Obviously, our auditions are open, so anybody from the community can audition. Next auditions are going to be December 1st. They can become a donor, like you said. We have a website now open for people to go to and donate if they want to use a credit card online. It's www.parkland.theater/donations, I believe. If you can't get to it from that, you can always just go to the Parkland homepage, and then there's the theater page, and then there's like a little donation tab up near the top. We have different tier levels, so depending on how much you gift, you get things like your name in the playbill or your name on the website, season tickets, free concessions, all sorts of different things. So it's just based on the level. And then we also take donations as far as costumes and props. So we're always looking for those.
You were telling me that you were always looking for men's suits.
Yeah, men's suits are a good thing to donate for sure.
So maybe in your closet you have some extra items to donate to Parkland Theater.
Yeah, if you're going through and you're like, maybe I'll give this to Goodwill, maybe think of us.
That's great. Well, Heather, thank you so much for being part of the show.
You're welcome.
All right, and we'll return after the break.
Hi there, my name is Derek Dallas. I teach digital media in Parkland College in the CSIT department, and I want to talk with you about our digital media program. One of the things that's exciting about digital media is that students will be working with a wide variety of software and learning techniques common to the film industry, gaming, design in web design, also architectural design, visual effects, and post-production processes that are used in film and those kinds of things. Students get a chance to work with the community and actually work on projects that are going to be used by other faculty members or artists in the area or filmmakers in this in the Champaign and Urbana area. And so you get a chance to really do some hands-on work. So what I want you to do is take a few minutes, and I'm going to show you some of the work that the students have done in the past so you can get an idea of what's going on here at Parkland College.
All right, welcome back to the Parkland Report. I'm joined now by Lisa Costello with the Parkland Art Gallery, the Gertz Gallery.
The Gertz Gallery, yeah.
Oh, well, thank you. I need to get the donor name in there. And so the Gertz Gallery, where is it located for those that have never been?
The Gertz Gallery is in the central part of campus. It's in the X Wing. So I recommend that people park in the M parking lot, the M1 or M5, and then they can walk up this beautiful pathway and they go by a little waterfall, although in the winter it's not falling water, but enter through door X7 and we're there on the left. So we're pretty centrally located, and we've got a nice gallery lounge, and so a lot of people, community members, come for our openings, and yeah, it's a really nice location on campus.
It's a really beautiful surprise as you're walking through campus and you're like, oh, I can step into this beautiful gallery. And I know students, it's always a interesting selling point for them when they walk by and they realize all of the different assets we have here on campus.
Yeah, yeah, we do use it for a lot of tours. So yeah, it comes in handy for recruiting and things like that. But yeah, we have a really nice selection of exhibitions this year. We just finished up with a faculty art exhibit, and our current exhibition is Cover the Waterfront, and that's paintings by Teresa Dunn. And our reception was last week, and she did a terrific job. So she teaches at Michigan State University, and our students loved her. So people can come out to that. That'll be on exhibit through November 3rd. Oh. And so they're big, beautiful paintings. They're kind of metaphors for islands, and they're really colorful. And yeah, so I think it's a really wonderful show for people to see.
That's great.
Yeah.
So what are the shows that you have coming up? So what's next after this one?
After this one, we'll have our state-of-the-art photography exhibition, and that's a group show, and that's curated by Christopher Schneeberger, and he teaches photography at Columbia College up in Chicago. And so there are, I think, 7 artists who are collaborating, and they're from all over the country. So it's Sense of Place is the title. And so I think he's done a really nice job at selecting artists who are kind of talking about, you know, people in places and what happens to maybe the history of a place over time. So that'll be a really interesting exhibit to see, especially if you like photography. There's a lot of photos of people and environments. So,
we're pulling in national artists, not only local, but really bringing in a high caliber.
We do, yeah. Well, we have a lot of high caliber local artists.
Yes.
But we also, you know, really try to bring in artists that we aren't familiar with. And so when we curate our exhibits and we think about, we do a call for proposals, and we have you know, a call in hopes that people submit. And usually we have over 100 artists submitting. We've had up to 300, which was pretty overwhelming for me. So people are really interested in showing here, and I think we try to show them a good time and have really beautiful marketing material so that it's worth their while. So yeah, it's like Teresa Dunn, you know, I think was just a terrific catch from Michigan. To have come speak. And then we'll also have an exhibit in the spring called Draped and Bundled, and that's a Korean artist who also does paintings, and they're about fabrics and textiles. Wow. And they have all sorts of different meanings, and she really relates it to a lot of kind of mythology. Mm-hmm. So she's from Connecticut, and that'll be a really wonderful artist to talk to as well.
So they're really diverse, different types of, different mediums throughout the year as things roll out.
Yeah, we really try to have a variety. Like last year we had a big ceramics biennial, which we're kind of known for with, you know, ceramic artists, and we produce a catalog for that. We'll also produce a catalog for our photography exhibit. So it's kind of an opportunity for those artists to show their work, but it's also really great for our community to come and see this work that they wouldn't normally have, be able to see maybe. So yeah, we kind of think a lot when we're figuring out what shows we're going to bring to campus. We really think about that, what would be educational for our students, what is something that might be different than the last exhibit, and what are we offering at Parkland. So, you know, like Teresa Dunn talks a lot about issues of isolation. So there's usually some sort of content in the exhibits with the work. We bring in a lot of tours like liberal arts and sciences tours, or now we're bringing in first year experience tours. So I'm doing quite a few tours recently. So that's terrific. I love to have students in that have maybe never been to our gallery or haven't really experienced art, or they're nervous about looking at it, and making them feel welcome and comfortable. So
that's great, a great opportunity for our students. So how do our students or our faculty members showcase their work through the gallery?
Yeah, well, we do 3 exhibitions a year that are directly related to our Parkland people. And we have our faculty show, which is all the art and design faculty and graphic design. And they exhibit their work. They're practicing artists, and so they like to highlight their work. And that's a very popular show. That's always the start of the season, like in August. And then at the end of the spring semester, we have both of our student exhibits. So we have our art and design student juried exhibit. And so all of the students taking art classes are able to submit up to 4 works of art. And so they, you know, we get a huge amount of entries. And then we the faculty kind of whittle away at it and go back and forth. It's a heated debate about what to include in the show.
What size, how many pieces do you take overall?
We take about, I have to be like the referee and I
Yeah.
can't fit any more in,
Cut it
so
off.
I'm like the evil one. But we have about 200 maybe in the show, 200, 215. So they're stacked, you know, high, and we like to put in as many as we can because it's such an exciting opportunity for our students, and it really highlights our program. And it's a great, just professional experience for our students. I really try to treat it like, you know, how they enter their work is online. It would be exactly what they would do for a professional show. So it's really allowing them to get their feet wet in what it is to be a practicing artist. And then after that show, we have, which is really quite wonderful, we have a great awards ceremony and things like that. So if people are interested, they should sign up for our email blast, because we send out emails, or go to our website. But then we have a graphic design exhibit. And so that is, the awards are selected by outside professional graphic designers in the community. And Paul Young, this will be Paul Young's last year, he's retiring.
A huge loss for the college.
Yeah, and so that's a very interesting show because it has a wide variety of things, and it changes depending on what's going on in graphic design. So since I've worked here, I've seen that show kind of evolve into what's happening, you know, now. So they do web design and menus and billboards and t-shirts, and sometimes they're working with outside clients, like they'll take on a client for that kind of experience, but other times they're just creating things that they find really interesting. And even product design, like food or tea boxes and things. So it's always a great show to come and look at. Yeah, and then in the summer, I'm really happy we're gonna have a Don Lake retrospective. So as most people in our community know, Don Lake was, you know, a really valued professor here and taught for a very long time, and was very instrumental in the whole art and design program and graphic design as well. So we're really happy to be able to offer that to the community, and I thought it was about the right time. You know, he's been retired for quite a while, and he's still out there practicing and painting all over the country. He travels in his little motor home with his wife Susie. They're a wonderful couple, and so he's been painting a lot and keeping busy, and I thought, oh, this would be a really nice time to bring in. We have a lot of works of his in our collection and people that have bought his work, so we're kind of pulling together a bit of a retrospective, I would say, of works that were done from all the different kind of periods in his life. So
that's very exciting.
Yeah, I'm really happy about that.
Really good variety and ways for people to engage and to take a look at what our students are able to produce, because you're right, we have such incredible artists just in our community and in our Parkland community.
Yeah, we really do. I mean, I'm always amazed at what our students can create in those classes, and how our faculty really engage them and get them excited about what they're making. So
the passion really shows.
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
So community members also have the chance to hit the road with you and gallery supporters and or patrons, and they can go see some other exhibits that are in different cities. Talk a little bit about the bus tours that you've been doing.
Oh yeah, I would love to. So we have, you know, we're in such a nice area in Illinois where we can actually go, you know, 2.5 hours here, 2.5 hours there. So we go to Chicago, St. Louis, Indianapolis, and sometimes even closer than that to see different art activities or architecture as well. But we're really excited. The one that's coming up this semester is Kahinda Wiley, and he was the artist who painted the Barack Obama portrait recently, so he's been in the news quite a bit. And so he is doing a exhibit in St. Louis, and so responding to some of their collection, because what he's kind of known for is getting people from wherever he is and painting them in their own clothes, but kind of referencing famous portraits or, you know, different paintings that you might recognize. So typically like people that are in grand, like maybe sitting on a horse, a famous, you know, military man, something like that. And so it's really an interesting kind of juxtaposition what he's doing in his painting. So we're really happy that the show is in St. Louis and that we're able to take a group. So we'll be going up on, I think it's, I have to put on my glasses here. We're going on November 2nd, and so we still have a few seats left at the time of this airing.
How do people register for those?
They can go to the Business Training and Community Education, our website, and they can sign up online, or they can just call in, whatever they feel comfortable with. And so it'll be a really great time. We'll go and have lunch there and see the sights. And I haven't been to I'm embarrassed to say I haven't been to the St. Louis Art Museum since they had a huge remodel. It kept getting delayed. And so it'll be really nice to see what they've done to that space. Yeah, and then we're also—
You're the host for the day as well.
Yes, I
drive the bus?
I do drive the bus, yep.
It's a true
I have
road trip.
a CDL license. Yeah, it's a road trip. And Laura O'Donnell, who teaches here, she teaches art history. She is also kind of an expert in Frank Lloyd Wright. And so she and I do a lot of these trips. I have to say John Eby, who is in business, you know, the community education, he is the one who taught me how to drive the bus, so I always have to give him credit.
He has quite the pull on his trips as well.
He does. He has a lot of trips.
Yeah. In our bus tours.
Yeah, so. He does a terrific job. So anyway, yeah, it's like a little road trip, and Laura typically always goes with me. So then after that, actually before that, we're doing a really interesting trip. If people are interested in Frank Lloyd Wright, we're going to see a show in Decatur at the Millikan University about the Imperial Hotel. So Frank Lloyd Wright had designed the Imperial Hotel, and it's already been torn down. It was in Japan, and so this is kind of about that building. So this was a kind of a last-minute one because we heard about it and we thought this would be terrific. And Laura is going to use her expertise, and we're going to see a house that was designed also by Frank Lloyd Wright in Decatur, as well as some other buildings that were designed by some of his like understudies. So that'll be a great trip, and that's Friday, October 26th.
Very exciting.
Yeah, so we were going out, hitting the road, as well as, you know, bringing in really great exhibitions, I'd like to think. So
that's wonderful. And you do some outreach efforts with local high schools.
We do, yeah. Our high school art seminar is coming up. It's an annual event, and we invite all of the high school art teachers in the 505 Parkland district to bring their students, and they have 2 workshops with our art faculty. And they might do a drawing workshop and a printmaking workshop or a ceramics workshop. And then they also are going to have pizza, and they're going to get a tour of the gallery of the Teresa Dunn exhibit, as well as a campus-wide tour. And then they're going to hear Brian Heaton, who teaches photography here, talk about his work and kind of relating it to the idea of storytelling or narratives, because Teresa Dunn does that as well. So it'll be a really, hopefully a great experience for the students. I think we have over 200 high schoolers coming to campus. Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah, it is. It's really, you know, and a lot of them come from really good art programs, and so we're hoping that they'll come to Parkland as well. But really it's an opportunity for us to give back and have those students, you know, get to make artwork and see our gallery. So yeah, we always enjoy doing that every year.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Well, Lisa, thank you so much for being on the show today.
Oh, sure.
I really
Thank you.
appreciate
You're
it.
a wonderful host.
Well, thank you. One of my first episodes. So.
Yeah.
Well, that's it for today's edition of the Parkland Report. Thanks for joining us.